Hello, my friend. This is Marco Robert, and thank you so much for watching my channel. Guys, today I want to talk to you about something that is really close to my heart, and it is how I actually made $300,000 in just under 5 hours. Yeah, you heard it right, you know. You know, I remember the time I was invited by one of my friends who was a consultant. He said, hey, we're trying to work with this company and we're trying to figure out how to help them out. Would you mind coming over and helping us out? I'm like, absolutely. So I show up there, and then he had been speaking with this business owner for a couple of days, trying to understand all the problems in the business. So I introduced myself to the business owner. We start chit-chatting, and we spent about an hour or two together, and he shows me everything around the business. And then me and my friend actually, I said, let's just step outside and let's try to figure out how we can help this guy. So we go outside, and we're literally, my friend had a napkin, right? Just a little cocktail napkin. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to be able to help this guy. So we're outside, and we're taking notes on this napkin on the hood of my car, literally. And for probably about 20 minutes, me and my friend were talking, and he said, I don't know exactly how we're going to be able to do this. And I said, well, I have developed this methodology. It's a step-by-step process for building a business. I call it the WAR strategy, right? And the WAR strategy is like a 4-step process. Number one is, who are you, right? The WAR strategy is this: master, divide, conquer, and rule, right? Master is you. Who are you? Are you the master of your domain? Are you the kind of person who can actually build a business, right? That's mastery. Number two, divide. Is the business in a position to separate itself or divide itself from the competition? Has the business innovated enough that it can actually kind of stand out, you know, in a sea of competition? Number three, conquer. So are we ready to actually, or do we have the mechanisms in place to actually generate more revenue, to conquer more territory, to garner more market shares, right? So that's the conquering phase. And then lastly, the ruling phase is, you know, now that we have a business that actually has conquered a lot of territory, how do we make sure to optimize the results? How do we maximize the profits of that business, right? So that's kind of my WAR strategy when it comes to business. So I'm sitting with my friend, I'm explaining it to him just like I'm explaining it to you. And he says, wow, this is really cool, man. So on the napkin, we drew like a little staircase, right? Like 4 levels: master, divide, conquer, and rule. We didn't write it down, but we said, okay, if we're going to help this guy build his business, you know, how can we do this? So what do we have to do at the master level? And then the two of us, you know, for probably 15, 20 minutes, we're trying to figure out how are we going to actually help this guy kind of discover his own strengths and become a better business person. And then I said, how are we going to help this business separate itself from the competition? And then we're making lists, you know, of bullet points of things that we can actually do to help him move his business to the next level, you know, to innovate, to distinguish himself in the marketplace. Then we start looking into marketing strategies and sales strategies so we can actually grow his business. And then lastly, we look at ways to actually improve the cash flow and the profits of this business. So we would just write it down literally on a napkin. We go back inside and we start having a conversation with this gentleman and his wife. And he said, how are you going to be able to help us? And then we said, hey, you know what? We've been thinking about this. I think this is going to be like a 4-phase project, right? So in other words, we're going to roll out this project inside of 4 phases. And then we literally go and explain to him, like, phase 1, we're going to do this, right? And then it's the mastery phase. And then phase 2, we're going to do that. And in phase 3, we're going to do that. And phase 4, we're going to do that. And the guy's eyes, as much as we're moving along the phases, his eyes are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he's like, holy moly, this is exactly what I need. And we're like, okay, so we're happy to help you. So we draft a contract, we put an amount of money in the contract, we present the contract to the guy. He's like, oh my God, that's way too much money. I don't think I can afford that. So we go back to the parking lot, my friend and I say, you know what, I don't care about you, but I don't mind if we actually take less money and we take a position inside of this guy's business. And he said, I don't mind either. So we redrafted the contract. We lowered the amount of money. We went back inside and we told the guy, we said, hey, we believe in you so much that we're willing to take less money per month, but we'll take a position inside of your business. And the guy agreed, and we signed the contract. I was there for less than 5 hours, and we signed a contract that actually was worth more than $300,000. Now, the reason why I bring you this story is that, I mean, since then, I've done it over and over and over again. But it was the first time in my life that I had a $300,000 contract, right? And it was like, it was like life-changing. Imagine this, right? You spend 5 hours with someone and you walk away with a $300,000 contract. It was completely life-changing. And this is, by the way, this is the gift that's been giving and giving. This was years and years and years ago. And since then, I mean, I still own a position inside of this company. And every year, I still get a check. So at this point, I've actually made more than $300,000 from this investment. But I remember actually signing a contract that was worth more than $300,000. And it was just like, it was life-changing. It completely changed my life. So the lesson here, guys, is this. Number one, you need to have a methodology. You need to have a system when you're working. You need to have an idea of how you're going to do what you're going to do. You need to understand strategically where you're trying to take the ship, number one. Number two, you need to divide it into step-by-step process. I always like to say it, life unfolds on a gradient scale. Business unfolds on a gradient scale. In other words, you need to divide the process from where you are to where you're going to go in gradients, in phases, in steps, right? And at the end of the day, when you follow a methodology like this, it is so enthralling. It's very simple, but nobody does that. People just throw information at you and it's not organized. Simply by organizing your information in a series of steps, it makes it so enthralling, so appealing, that you can literally charge whatever you want for that. You understand? And I've proven it over and over and over again since then. That was years ago, probably close to a decade ago. And since then, I've sold, I don't know, countless contracts at more than $300,000, okay? So you want to know? That's how I made $300,000 from a cocktail napkin in less than 5 hours. Guys, this is Coach Marco Robert. I hope you enjoyed the story. That was a great memory for me to actually recount this story. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I create a lot of videos like this. Actually, I think the next one is about to pop up right here. And as always, guys, you know I love your comments. I love to engage with you, so make sure you leave your comments below. This is Coach Marco Robert. I'll see you later. Take care.
Guys, this is Coach Marco Robert. Remember, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to keep on getting what you've always gotten. Click on the next videos and continue your education.